Bustin'. Get all logged in and ready to go for the day. Gotta hunt some bears. I've been trying to get a frozen shooter for too long and they just refuse to drop it, man! They refuse! I've seen like 4 of them now and not a single one of the rare bears have dropped them the 50% chance of frozen shooter. Makes me very sad. Stream day today, sizeable, I'll go into a different lobby. I am not in the right window, apparently. There we go. Alright, no increased rates at the moment. Good to know. Meg is fine. Everything good item-wise. Yes. Alright. This and this. They're RNG get RNG sometimes. I don't get to see the rare bears very often. They're very uncommon. I mean, it's like 1 in 512 every time a bear shows up. It's not a very high percentage. So every time it doesn't actually fork over the item, it's just sad. It's like, come on, give me the goods. You can't just do that to me. Yep, I should get the Rappies on the move. Yeah, the buzzing is gonna happen a decent bit. This quest likes its bug nests quite a bit. They do no damage! It causes me to go into evasion pose every single time, which is slower than taking damage, hilariously enough. Excuse me a second, I'm just gathering up all this junk. Well, hello there! At this point, this entire area is just a complete non-threat. It's actually a hindrance for me to lower their attack power because they just don't do enough damage. Bears. I haven't seen a single rare Rappy this entire time. I don't think they drop anything good, but... Thanks for dropping my raincoat. Hope you have yourself a good one. Oops. Need that for the Rappies. Oh, I escaped. Oh, I see it over there on the map. Let me put it with the collection. There's a few of them. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, get over here then. It's easier for me to deal with you in groups when you gather up nice and close. Don't just spin around like a ballerina. Get over here. Yeah, it's Blue Burst. At this point, it's easy enough to set up even a personal Blue Burst thing that you may as well just play that version nowadays. Just to have the most content. So I play on a proper server because quality of life stuff that got added that's really nice. It's definitely not a lot, now. I spent some time, like, setting up a personal one, just in case if any ever goes down. It wasn't too bad. This is Phantasy Star Online. It's an old Dreamcast game of sorts. Well, this is a PC port of it. It started on the Dreamcast at least, but it's more popular for the GameCube. The Cube! There's private servers still up, surprisingly. Yeah, not Steam. This game came out before Steam even existed. It's slightly old, yes. It is definitely a little clunky. That is partly intentional, to be honest, but it makes me understand why they went the route they did with the later games. This universe is definitely less clunky. And then PSO2 is just oversimplified to the point of nonsense. Nah. The moment I saw that New Genesis was open world in structure, I gave it a big old-fashioned kick in the butt. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't sign up to these games to play super-duper generic MMOs. It's like that was pretty much a shouting to the top of the hills that the game was going in a direction I had zero interest in. Yeah, the rappers, they always look so cute and cuddly, and then they peck your brains in. Gears 2 Classic is still mostly instance-based. Its big problem is all the stuff that you want drops from quests that you can't even do at all times. They're only up every now and then. That involve way too many people, so I can't just play the game. So it becomes a big case of, why am I even signed on then if I can't hunt the stuff that I'm after? There's definitely Rapping plushes available out there. I played PSO2 for a bit, but the oversimplified combat and inability to hunt what I wanted to due to ridiculously low drop rates or just not being available large amounts of times a day, it wasn't for me. I don't like doing daily structures. There's some daily and weekly quests, and I'm just like, it's not what I'm here for. I want to go get some equipment. Cool stuff, you know? Not just EXP and money. That's the boring stuff. I want the cool stuff. But I can't hunt those because they drop from quests that are only available sometimes. I want to use more than one weapon, but because of the skill trees, that's not really how it's going to work out. It very much moved in a direction that was not for me. thing. PSO2 has both Rappy styles, technically. There's the rare ones, which have the extremely fluffy look that they adopted in Phantasy Star Universe. And then there's the NAB Rappies, or whatever they called them, that look more like the PSO1 Rappies. Does combat ever get easier? No, actually. But you get more used to using the 3-hit combo in the various different ways that you can, sort of. But there's a lot of emphasis on positioning, kiting, and knowing how much you can get away with. Having stronger equipment will make things easier. Being a higher level will make things easier. Having your mag leveled up will make things easier. But at the end of the day, you still need to know how to do basic mechanics. Yeah, that was the sound of a rare drop. It's probably a piece of crap because it came from a Rappy. Yeah, they have both styles in PSO too. It's kind of like, I don't know, pick your favorite. Which one do you like? I respect it. It's more just Rappies generally don't have very good drops. Because they appear in large numbers and as a result tend to get the short end of the rare drop pool stick. These guys, on the other hand, have a good drop. Yeah, maxed out mags are incredibly busted at low levels. You can use more than one weapon PSO2, but there's no point. Your skill tree generally forces you into one particular style of weapon. If you go hybrid, it usually sacrifices your DPS, which is a big problem in the higher difficulties because offense is everything in that game. If you're not killing things fast enough, then you're not doing it right. Yeah, I can understand the separation from the old video games versus this. It's got similar character designs, but that's about it. The world is very much different. Why, there's a very clear modern example of taking an old single-player design thing and turning it into something more multiplayer focused. Slow head tilt at Capcom. Yeah, not only do you just use your main weapon all the time in PSO2, you just use its photon art constantly. You're just spamming your DPS move, your one DPS move, over and over and over and over and over again. What am I talking about? Capcom did an announcement recently that they're essentially making multiplayer Dino Crisis? They turned what was essentially a Resident Evil clone with dinosaurs into some sort of, like, exoskeleton multiplayer with big old bosses thing. It's very odd, to say the least. Yeah, that was a Capcom game. And apparently, people recognize some characters from Dino Crisis, so it's like, I think I know what this game was supposed to be until they decided they couldn't make it work. Oh, they just look a lot, okay. Well, I'm saying, it's probably was supposed to be a Dino Crisis reboot at some point. Probably. I don't know if it's certain, but probably. Also, Dr. Y, that's a perfect example of what I mean, though. You can swap from a melee-focused AoE weapon to a melee-focused AoE weapon. They're functionally the same. Whereas in this, I actually have, you know, ranged weapons, and the option to use spells if I want to. There's actually a mixture of things that I can use depending on the situation. And Phantasy Star Universe had that available through hybrid classes. Which I played a hybrid class, and it worked decently well. They may not have been top of the charts for DPS, but they were good at handling themselves. It's just way too watered down in PSO2. Every class is essentially what the master classes were in PSU, where they have like 3 weapon types that they can use really well, and that's it. And they're all basically the same type of weapon. Yeah, the gunblades. If only those things were actually useful. They're so bad. It's like this will be one-handed sabers and like offhand handgun from PSU. There are so much better options. Alright, no rare bears this run. Because yeah, they essentially have the exact same setup in Universe, but it was also really shit, except for the one class who specialized in them. Yeah, nice dragon. This one only shows up on Ultimate. It's pretty dangerous if you actually get hit. But in the end, it's still just the dragon, though. It's pretty harmless. Aurora Borealis! On this stream! On this planet! Oh, I missed. Yeah, get down here! Think you can get away? I don't think so! Luckily, this is entirely within your Dreamcast. May you see it? Well, it's right there! It's dead, though. Not a convenient time for a level up. Level 130. But yeah, I also enjoyed playing Phantasy Star Online too. It was just too watered down for me to play it for very long was the problem. It's one of those things. It holds up fine if it was like a single player experience you could do for a little while. But as an MMO, yeah, the level cap's 200. And the halfway point for EXP is way too freaking high out of 10. And I really like the hybrid classes in Phantasy Star Universe, though. They're like a natural evolution to the characters I like to pick in this game. Alright, that's it for this run. On to the next! Yes! No. Oh yeah, the information dump at the start of PSN2 is something else. There's just so many currencies and mechanics and oh my Jesus Christ. It's overwhelming. Very overwhelming. Whereas in this, it's like, if you're playing as a hunter, here's a saber. Go to the forest, slash some bad guys. Have fun. Oh god. Look, they screwed up the grinding system in the universe and they just kept on trucking along with that terrible grinding system into the future games. I don't know why. I guess they just needed to give you a place to dump all your money. Somehow it was even worse in Universe. They did make it slightly less bad in Phantasy Star Online 2. In this game, you pop a grinder and it grinds your weapon. No fuss, no muss. No breaking your weapon, just trying to make it better. This game was definitely very single-player focused first, while having an online component. Oh yeah, in Ultimate sometimes the Rappies are big. It doesn't do anything, it literally just makes the model bigger. But they added it in, just cuz. Yeah, it's really awful. I don't know why they decided to turn it into a grindy mess. And waste all your money and all your time. And your will to live. No, I just restarted the quest. Because it's this portion of it that I'm actually interested in right now. You get more used to it. It also gets a lot easier after your first character, because you can, like, preemptively feed a bag. The grinders are probably there more as a legacy thing, but it does add yet another currency to a game with 12,000 currencies. Man, this game is very hard to recommend in this day and age. Just because I know the particular difficulty of getting into it. And that and people's general preference for things that are a little smoother. And I get it, I do. Yo, oddities, how's it going? If there's one thing I've come to accept over the years, is that my taste in video games is, the opposite of what we would refer to as industry trends. It's like the trend is war content bloated with everything. What I actually prefer, smaller game with focused, well-made content. Industry trend is bigger, flashier, more ridiculous. I'm just like, I just want some mechanics that are deep and feel good, man. really play a whole lot of multiplayer in this game, to be honest. With the small exception of many, many years ago, this game has mostly been a solo experience for me. Oh yeah. Speaking of, I got a good chuckle out of the recent debacle that Square has caused with their expiring premium currency. And I couldn't help but glance over at PSO2 and just be like, hey, I wonder where they got the idea from. Oh shit, it's Rare Rappy. Hey there, how you doing? And make sure I can actually get the rare drop out of it this way. Well, I win the 50-50? Yes! Nice. Alright, I can see what that is. I mean, if the new game's good, I'll play it. It's why I bought classic Mega Man 11 like day one. I'm like, hey, this looks really good. And then it was. And I bought it. And I played it. And I played it a couple more times. And I really liked it. And I still really like it. It's just a little bit on the long side sometimes. And I want more. Please, give me a 12th one. Oh, that's not bad. Not great, but it's not bad. Yep, armor blue, weapons orange. Oh god, I'm stuck in a chain of constant evasion. There we go. Thanks for knocking out of the center. That is definitely one of this game's bigger flaws. You can get stuck in an infinite loop of evasion if you're not careful. It's really only an issue if the enemies in the area just don't do any damage, though. Is this game have aerial combat? No. There was no jump button added until PSO2. And rare drops are red. They're the things you want to see. There's a Photon Blast. They used to have cutscenes instead of just being a particular thing you summoned that span around the field for a little bit. They used to be a bit more potent than they are in Phantasy Star Online, too. This hero ability is kind of neat. How much does it raise it by? 10. It's not fantastic, but it's something. I don't have any room for it. You know. One of my other characters could get some use out of it. I was just talking about the lack of rare Rappies, and sure enough, one finally shows up. I love the Pal Rappies. All rainbow color like that, or at least multicolored. They're so cute! Ah! Certain rare shields actually have a physical model that shows up on your character. It's not very many of them, but some do. This one in particular is the Derelay shield. It's Derelay's face as a shield. It's pretty good. Statistically, it's not bad either. There's also like Trifolic Reflector, 3 Seals, Kaiser Brace. Let's see. Kaiser Racer, I think it's called. That one's really good. Any of the merge items also show up. DB Shield, Low-End Shield. There's a lot of rare ones that show up on your character. Yeah, a good handful of the ones I listed off are in episodes 1 and 2. But they're rare, they're hard to come across. Most of those probably only drop in Ultimate Difficulty. It's like Ultimate's just sitting there. It's where the vast majority of your character's time will happen. I really ought to make my next character sometime soon. Both to get started on feeding their mag, and to just free up some space in my shared bank. It's almost full. Yeah, the PSO2 story structure is hilariously awful. Both in the truncated version... Who found something this time? Because it's never me. God damn, that's really rare, though. Christ! How do people keep finding this shit? There's only like 70 people on here! God! Could I please have one of those super rare items? It would be nice. I've only seen that drop once on the GameCube. Oh yeah, the story on top of being utter bullshit to the 10th, to the maximum possible degree, is literally like 12 hours of cutscenes. I was shocked at how stupid it was. This is coming from a series that has some classically stupid stories to begin with. Yeah, I'm aware how it used to be. I played on the Japanese servers for a little while, because, you know, at that point, PSO2 had been out for 3 or 4 years, and I'm just like, well, I guess it's never coming to the West, so I'll just take a look at the translated version. And I saw the story structure, and then I proceeded to never play the story. Because it was so genuinely god-awful to do. I only even did it in the more recent release of the game because there were some cosmetic prizes to it that I actually wanted. Damn it. I guess I'll sit through this for the sake of cosmetics. But I did. And I regret it! It wasn't worth it, man! It was such a terrible time! The cosmetics were not worth it! I'd say anything PSO2 is better than in Genesis. It depends on one very large factor. There's large depending on who you are. How much do you get annoyed by random other players getting in the way of whatever you're trying to do? Because if that answer is at all, then it's gonna feel awful and you're gonna want nothing to do with it. That's why I hate open world MMOs. Because even if it's just something small, like hunting a particular monster for a little bit, you have to deal with other players being there and being in the way. It just annoys me so much. I've always been rather fond of the, like, multiplayer lobbies and then small parties for instances structure. That I don't mind, that works. But open world, ugh. Then you have the issue of people that I don't want to be there being there. I suppose if the population's small enough, it's not that much of an issue, but... But if it even happens like once, I just want nothing to do with it. Even the multi-party areas in PSO2 were ticking me off after a bit. So I'm just trying to run around and hunt certain enemy types, and there's just random players there sometimes interfering. And I'm just like, ugh. If they were my party members, that'd be one thing, but they weren't. They're just random people. That's a photon drop, isn't it? God damn it. No! Why do you bait me with the fake rares game? That is part of the reason why I stopped playing. It's like, hunting was just annoying. The drop rates were way too unrealistically low. I get why they were, to encourage you to use the player shop instead of specifically hunting something, but... Photon drops are one of this game's only other types of currency, so they're used in exactly one place. You can get some good stuff out of them. It's fine. The problem is they make the rare drop noise and come in red boxes. And they can drop from anything. So you get all excited hearing the rare drop noise. It's like, and it's a photon drop. It's like, God damn it! The game wouldn't be the same without it, though. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Melody. Because then it just adds in more running around where I'm punished because there's arbitrarily other players in my area. It's like, it's not what I signed up for, I just want to play the game. Oh god, if skate dolls came in red boxes, it would drive people crazy. It's just that I'm not compatible with the standard MMO structure. I was thankful with the bit of Final Fantasy XIV that I played that most of what you do is in instances. There's open fields, but they're pretty huge and usually unimportant. Still happened a few times, though. It was very annoying. Oh, I'm happy I played before and got an even bigger surge of popularity. Got that out of my system real early. They had those types of quests in this game, too. But they were still instanced. So if you wanted it to go smoother, you could bring your friends. And not just have random people showing up. They did hold events where people running that quest all contributed towards it, though, and that's fine. Because you're still ultimately playing the game in an instance. Nice having access to these spells every now and then. I just don't like open world MMO structures. I don't want to deal with random players. It's as simple as that. That's the long and short of it. If I want to play an online game, I want to play with my friends, not randoms. And that's why the general MMO structure does not work for me. My inventory actually full? Huh, alright. And unfortunately, as MMOs have progressed, they've gotten more and more emphasized towards groups of randoms that you're dealing with rather than just playing with friends. PS2 is at least lighter about it than most other games. But the large group quests and the multi-party areas do start to nag at my nerves over time. That's part of the reason why I started to move away from it. It's definitely a lot better than other games that are purely more randoms focused. You see me getting extremely tired of running the roulettes in Final Fantasy XIV. Because that's the main way you actually get any XP in that. And you're generally not going to have a squad available to go with you for every single day. It's so rare to have an online game that can hold up on its own like this one does. Because, you know, this thing's ancient. It was designed to be a single-player game first and have online components. Whereas nowadays, it's MMO first, the single player, not even really accounted for. Here's a story, I guess. Solo play's just not even an option, and that's where I just don't want to deal with it. I get these things work because you're supposed to encourage multiplayer, but that ain't for me. I'm very much a hermit in terms of how I handle myself in person anyways, so I guess it's a reflection on my lack of desire to socialize. Yeah, an original PSO2 was basically just the group quests. Problem is, those group quests were responsible for most of the good drops in the game. So, here's 12 people all in one area spamming particle effects. Have fun. Another one? Okay, game, I get it. You're being contrary today after I pointed out I hadn't been seeing any rare rappies. Sure, I'll take it. More hero abilities are neat. I won't be too sad if it fails to 50-50. It's not that big of an item. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna complain if it gets it. It's time to roll the dice! Or the dice says 50-50 success! This is just even more insulting because I just can't get it from the rare bears. It's like, dang it, game. Give me that. 2 runs in a row. What? The luck's in the wrong spot, man! It's in the wrong spot! mean, that's neat. I will use those. But it's not what it was after, man. That's at least one good thing about this particular ID is that pretty much everything that drops from here is at least neat. A bunch of it's not too terribly useful, but it's always at least neat. I'm fine with socializing online, I just don't want to. I already stream for several hours in a day. That's why, talking to people that I only vaguely know at best. Games are my quiet time off stream if I decide to play any. Not the last couple of days, though. I haven't played anything the last couple of days. I've been watching stuff. It's been nice. There's been some content to tune into during the evenings. I'm gonna have to do some testing tonight to make sure the ROM hack for tomorrow actually works. Big Rappy! I tried to think of a way to combine Big Chungus and Rappy, but all combinations I could think of just did not sound right. Big Chungus. See what I mean? There's just something about it. No, it doesn't sound right. Big Raffus. That's probably the closest one. It does sound a little bit off. I just keep thinking about it. It's like, I don't know. Sounds dirty. Yeah, like in this game, the only thing I actually need other players for is like the toughest quests that have time limits attached to them. Anything that doesn't have a time limit attached to it, I'm fine. But if there's a time limit, I'm probably not going to be able to finish that quest without a few helpers. Like this quest, I can theoretically finish it. I don't think I can 100% it, but I can probably finish it. That's what I mean about this being a hard thing to recommend, because yeah, your basic attacks are a 3-hit combo. It's not flashy, it doesn't do a lot. It's how you use it, and that's where things get tricky. Like for here, I don't have to think very much because I'm overpowered for this area. Okay, we're gonna be stuck in invasion hell again. Do you mind? There we go. And that's why I'm not casting the attack power debuff, because I'd be stuck in dodge animation forever. That's a big part of why this game's hard to get into, though. Because there's a lot of it that comes from just figuring out how to use your minimal tools. Like, say, stopping the combo early in such a way where you can have enough time to dodge the incoming attack. Because you're not going to be able to destroy everything in a single full combo. So a lot of the changes come from different weapon types instead. Like deciding whether or not you want to use your AoE weapons or your ranged weapons or whatnot. It's a little more varied with rangers, since they're all pew pew guns, but they have different things they can do. The Shadowless gameplay is definitely forces. Them, on the other hand, you just kind of... You pick whichever spell is going to be the most effective for this group of enemies, and you mash a button. It's not very exciting. If there's one thing I'll definitely give PSO2, is that forces are a little more interesting there. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. There's still some weird shit with, like, crafted advanced spells or whatever. But at least there's more you can do. Forces have been rough for the series, like, constantly. Universe, it really wasn't any better. You had, like, one or two good spells to spam, and that was about it. They did get it to work a little bit better later on in Universe's life when they introduced, like, spell perks that you could customize to make those kind of crappier spells a bit more effective. It still wasn't great. The one private server that still exists for Universe took a different approach to it that I kind of like. Those spell benefits are cooked into certain classes instead. So that way classes could have things they specialize in. Like this spellcasting class uses these spells better, and this one uses these spells better. Neat. Makes it so all the spellcasters have different things that they're a little more effective at. Yeah, but this game, you'd be having a chuckle at my expense, though. It's like, really? 2 rare birds, but not a single rare bear, despite there being far more bears. And both the rare birds drop their rare item. Whereas I'm up to gonna be fighting the 5th one of these bears, and don't have a single one of those items. You're having a giggle, mate! I enjoy dropping the wrong things. Well, fine, but I'll keep hunting. It's just how it works. It's a small thing. It's being able to just quickly swap over to what I need for the moment. And that's the main stuff that I miss. Because even Universe had that. It actually had a really good structure about it too, where you'd have a palette of 6 weapons so you could very quickly swap around. It was nice. And depending on the class, you could probably make use of those different 6 weapons. funny thing is, Universe and VSO 2 both still have the 3-hit combo system. It's just they also happen to have photon arts to make things a little bit different, so the special moves. But at the base core of it, it's still just the 3-hit combos. It's just they're completely irrelevant because you're just gonna do your special moves instead. But they do still exist! Universe was a little more interesting with the photon arts as well. They actually evolved into their own combos instead of just being a single attack you assign at a certain point within a combo. I'd like VSO 2's custom combo system with the arts a little bit better, but they have this problem of like one skill heavily outclassing anything else. So you just slap on that one skill onto all 3 slots and call it a day. So, you know, the usual lack of balance nonsense. Yeah, problem is those jet boots wouldn't really do a whole lot of damage. They rely too much on the various skills associated with them, but they're neat. They'd probably be pretty good mobility, I would guess. Yeah, so just something to swap over to whenever you needed to move around. It's a shame subclassing for weapons wasn't really all that effective for anything except for, like, forces, I guess? Servers have existed on this game since before Sega's servers shut down, even. I was there when the first private servers started to come online. And having dealt with Sega's very shitty customer service, I might add, I was very inclined to check out this private server. And it worked out, you know? I was able to swap between the two of them as needed. Even back on the cube! It's hilarious just how powerful having the custom DNS settings made getting to and from whatever other server you need to. It was simple, really. I would just point it to my computer, and a program would pick up that connection and toss it to whatever server I needed to go to. It was nice. Very complicated and jank. But nice. For some reason, having my computer redirect the traffic also made the official servers work better. I have no idea why, it just did. No rare bears today. Oh well. I'll go a little further into the next patch of the quest. Take down the second boss, at least. There's like 70 people on at the moment. It's a decent handful. I see it as go as high as 100 sometimes. Oh, this wasn't even Nintendo, that was Sega. There's just something that happened with their servers at some point that messed up my ability to connect to it. It never got fixed. I had to find an alternative solution. Yeah, it was on the GameCube, but it's still Sega. I think that is a thing that exists that I don't have any interest in watching or have watched. I had a good internet connection. It just has something to do with their DNS server being shit. So when I turned my computer into the DNS server, it fixed it. And that's how the problem wasn't on my end, because, go figure, by being an intermediary between the two of them, suddenly it works. It was moments like that that I was happy that I learned a thing or two about networking. Hey, my kill! You can't just steal that. Let's go a bit further. To the next boss. I probably shouldn't debuff their attack power. It's just gonna make me block constantly. No! They're too weak! You dragons need to stop taking my kills! I get less EXP for them that way! None of that! Let's head on over this way. I believe it is time to get blasted for massive damage. Unless I can stop it in time. Good. That one trap does like 900 damage or something? It's a lot. See, that's an example of a small thing. I attacked a little too fast to not keep the enemy in hit stun, so I get slapped in the face. So many little nuances to how you use the 3-hit combo. And that would pretty much make most people's heads explode, because they just don't want to deal with it. It's too much to store, man. I get it. Oh, this room sucks, and I don't have a trap mission for it either. I need to get these guys to move. You know what? I'll take the invulnerability. That's quite nice and well-timed. Oh, my boss ran out. Come on! Need these! much all these traps exploding have a chance of freezing me, so I want nothing to do with it. There we go. Now I can just go press the switches and just not deal with it. It kind of makes me chuckle thinking about how much modern movement would trivialize these rooms. Stay in the corner, because there's going to be more of those flowers spawning in a sec. Here we go. Nice crit. Alright, come here. What I actually want for here is in the middle of the room. Oops. Oh, that's a waste. That's a waste right there. That's barely gonna do anything. Let's get a little bit of this going. Deal with the blobs. Circle of fire. Ow. Kind of crazy bit right here. Ooh, rare slime. Why am I fighting everything except for the bears? Are you serious? Okay, still a few too many around. Come on, get off of me. Move it. Shoot. Get. That's enough. Ooh, he's on level 20. I'll grab that. Now, is this gonna drop whatever's good? I wanna say it drops a caduceus, which are kinda nice. Very well then. Is it any good? Oh, that's pretty good. Kind of a pointless stat for a rod, but I mean, I'll take it. And not bad. Cool. I'm fighting everything except for the one thing I was actually hunting for. Sounds about right. Oh, three rare enemies out of all that. It's not bad. Spin, save, spin. Spin, save, spin. Spin! Invulnerability. Use that invulnerability proc. Alright, it's mostly dead. Got him! Come on, I know you're dead. Just sink into the water already. There you go. Slightly overpowered for these areas. Slightly. One of those is worth a fair bit of money. Ah, it's probably good. Let's have another of these. That could just be the particular version of it I was fighting that you're unfamiliar with. Which is the one that appears in Ultimate. Oh hey, I'm full up on mono grinders again. Shocker on that one. Alright, so if this fellow gives me what I want, then it should be 40% on the hit. Give me what I want. Thank you. I'm pretty sure they upped the rates at which that happens on this server, because normally they can be very stubborn. Alright, cool. I'll toss that over to my other characters. How full is this bank now? 197. Yeah, I should probably fix that. Should probably fix that. But I have part of Baran's handing? Jeez, I really needed to start doing the single-player quests. Get this thing converted into a lovely set. Oh, a shotgun that does tons of damage. Where did I get this? Oh man! I hate doing the single-player quests, but they will give me some good stuff. So I have enemy parts laying around. Alright, that's gonna do it for today for this. Yeah, shotgun. It fires a cluster of missiles in the form of a shotgun, yes. And it has the charge special, so you can do a bunch of extra damage with it, too. Oh, what's Smite streaming today? Oh, Elden Ring. Okay, maybe not. Does not appear to be a whole lot going on at the moment. It's been quiet around Twitch these past little while. Oh. What's live playing? Ah. Alright, that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with some Mega Man X and Sonic 2.